Hello everyone. Welcome to this full-length Django Beginner tutorial. In this video, you are going to learn Django from the absolute very beginning. We will start with the foundational steps by installing Python, configuring it correctly for Windows environments, and setting up an isolated workspace. From there, we will install Django, create a brand new project, build a custom application, configure the built-in admin panel, and finally, we will move away from default settings to connect to a professional Microsoft SQL Server database. This tutorial is designed specifically for beginners, even if you have never written a single line of back-end code, or if you have never worked with Django before. You will be able to follow along step by step by the end of this video. More importantly, you will understand the core fundamentals and architecture needed to continue building your own complex web applications. Let's get started. First, we need to talk about our primary dependency, Python. Django is entirely built on top of the Python programming language. Without Python installed correctly, your computer will simply not understand any of the Django commands, and the framework will not work. Open any web browser and type Python into the search bar. Head over to the official Python website, which is python.org. and navigate to the download section. Once you are on the download page, the site will usually detect your operating system. If you are using Windows, you want to download the 64-bit installer. If you are using macOS or Linux, simply select the appropriate installer for your specific operating system. Once the download finishes, navigate to your Downloads folder. Do not just double-click the file. Instead, right-click the installer and select Run as Administrator. When the installer window opens, here, make sure to tick the box that says Use administrative privileges. Also, you must tick the box that says Add Python to path. After making sure both boxes are checked, click Install now. Wait patiently while the installation completes. Once the process is finished, you will see a message on your screen that says Setup was successful. Python is now successfully installed on your system. Now let's verify the installation. Open your command prompt as an administrator. Once the black terminal window opens, type py-version. Press Enter, and you should see the exact Python version you just installed. Next, we are going to manually configure the system environment variables, so Python works flawlessly from any command prompt window. Open your File Explorer and go to the folder where Python was installed. Usually, this is hidden deep inside your C drive. To find it, navigate to your C drive. Open the Users folder. Select your username, and look for a folder called AppData. If you do not see the AppData folder, go to the View tab at the top of your File Explorer, and make sure the box for hidden items is checked. Inside AppData, go to Local, then Programs, and finally Python. Navigate to that specific Python location, and click the address bar at the top of the window to copy the full folder path. Now, minimize that window, and right-click on the This PC icon on your desktop or in your File Explorer sidebar. Select Advanced System Settings. A new window will pop up. At the very bottom of this window, Click the environment variables. In the bottom half of the new window, under the section labeled System Variables, scroll down until you locate the variable named path. Select it and click the Edit button. A new list will appear. Click the New button on the right side, and simply paste the Python path you copied earlier. Again, go back to your File Explorer where the Python folder is open. Inside the main Python directory, open this scripts folder. This is where pip and other command line utilities live. Copy this path from the address bar as well. Go back to your environment variables window. Click New again, and paste this script's path right below the first one. Click OK to close the edit window. Click OK again to close the environment variables window. And click OK once more to save the system properties changes. Good. Python is now fully configured and completely ready for web development. What is Django? Django is a high-level Python web framework designed for rapid development and clean, practical design. A framework is simply a collection of pre-written code that gives your application a solid starting structure. Django was built by experienced developers working in fast-paced environments. It's free and open source, with thousands of contributors improving it constantly. Django follows a batteries included philosophy, meaning it comes with most tools built in. It's fast to develop with, highly secure against common threats, and built to scale. Major platforms like Instagram, Spotify, Pinterest, and YouTube use Django to handle millions of users. For best results, follow along with the official Django documentation as you learn. Now, let's install Django. Open your command prompt. First, create a virtual environment. A virtual environment is an isolated space for your project's dependencies. This prevents version conflicts between projects. Navigate to your project folder, then type this. Press Enter. This creates a folder named Virtual Environment Created. To activate it on Windows, type this. Press Enter. You'll now see the virtual environment created in your terminal, confirming it's active. Now install Django. Type pip install Django. Press Enter and wait for installation to finish. To confirm, type pym Django a version. You should see a version number. Let's create a project. Type Django Admin Start Project Demo App. Press Enter. Then move into the project. CD Demo App. Start the development server. Type pymanage.py run server. Press Enter. Open your browser and go to 127.0.0.1:8000. This is your local machine. If you see the Django welcome page, your setup is successful. Now the foundation is ready. We need a proper coding environment. You can't build complex applications in basic editors like Notepad. Download Visual Studio Code from the official Microsoft website and install it. It's a powerful, free, industry-standard code editor. You can also use alternatives like PyCharm or Sublime Text, but VS Code is widely preferred. Open VS Code. If the default theme feels harsh, go to Settings Color Theme and choose a dark or light theme. A dark theme is recommended to reduce eye strain during long coding sessions. Now open your demo app project folder. On the left, you'll see the file structure. Django created automatically. Let's quickly understand the key files. The minute.py file tells Python. This folder is a package. The lasgi.py file handles asynchronous requests, used in advanced features like real-time apps. The settings.py file is the brain of the project. It controls configurations like databases and security. The urls.py file manages routing, connecting web addresses to views. The wsgi.py file is used for deployment on production servers. The manage.py file is your command tool for running and managing the project. And the Sclite3 database file is your default database, used for development and testing. Now let's create a new app. In Django, a project is the full website, while an app is a smaller module with a specific function. For example, in an e-commerce site, the cart and reviews would be separate apps. Open your command prompt. Stop the server with Ctrl+C. Make sure your virtual environment is active, and you are inside the demo app folder. Type pymanage.py start app1. Press enter. You'll now see a new folder called app1. But Django doesn't recognize it yet. Open the settings.py file. Find installed_apps and add app1. This registers the app with your project. Now let's talk about models. Open models.py inside app1. Models define the structure of your data. Django uses something called an ORM, which lets you write database logic in Python. Instead of SQL, we define an employee model. Open models.py and paste the following code. It includes fields like employee ID, department, designation, phone number, address, date joined, and active status. It also connects each employee to a user account. Models control how data is stored. Later, Django will automatically convert this code into database tables. Now let's make this data manageable. Open admin.py and paste the following code. Register the employee model. This tells Django to generate a full admin interface automatically. With this, you get a powerful dashboard to manage users, permissions, and employee data, all without writing extra code. We have our appone admin configured, but we still need a URL pathway to access it. Open urls.py in the main project folder. Here we define the admin route. By default, Django includes the path for admin. This means when someone visits your website/admin, they will see a secure login portal. Even though our models are written in Python, the database does not know about them yet. We need to sync them. Now we create migrations. Migrations are instructions that Django generates automatically, acting as a bridge between your Python code and your SQL database. Go to your command prompt and type python manage.py makemigrations. Press enter. This scans your project for new models. To target our specific app, type Python manage.py makemigrations app1. Press Enter. Django will confirm that it has created a blueprint for the employee model. But a blueprint is not a database. We need to apply it. Type Python manage.py migrate. Press Enter. You will see multiple applying messages, followed by OK. Django has now generated your database structure using SQL behind the scenes. Now we create an admin user. This is called a superuser. Type Python manage.py create superuser. Press Enter. Enter a username. You can skip the email by pressing Enter. Then create a password. Nothing will appear while typing. This is a security feature. Type it again to confirm. You will see a success message once the superuser is created. Now let's run the server again. Type Python manage.py run server. Press Enter. Open your browser and go to your localhost URL. Then add admin at the end. You will see a login page. Log in using the superuser credentials you just created. Welcome to the Django Admin panel. From here, you can manage users, groups, permissions, and create, read, update, or delete employee records, all without writing HTML or CSS. Finally, let's polish the admin panel. You don't want it to say Django Administration. You want custom branding. In urls.py, you can customize site header, index title, and site title. This changes the look and feel of your admin dashboard. Refresh your browser, and your admin panel now has custom branding. This makes your application look professional and client-ready. And that's it. Up to this point, we have used SQLite. SQLite is a lightweight database, ideal for local testing and small projects. But for production systems, you need a more powerful database. Now let's connect Django to Microsoft SQL Server. Open settings.py and locate the Databases section. By default, it uses SQLite. We will replace it with SQL Server settings. You must provide database name, host IP address, port number, username, and password. For security, you should never hard-code passwords in production. Instead, use environment variables. Django also needs a driver to connect to SQL Server. Install ODBC driver 18 for SQL Server, and then install the Django connector package. Pip install MSSQL Django. Make sure both the driver and package are installed correctly. After configuration, run migrations again. Python manage.py migrate. Press Enter. Django will now create all tables inside your SQL Server database. Let's quickly recap. You installed Python and Django, created a virtual environment, built a project and app, configured models, ran migrations, connected SQL Server, and customized the admin panel. This is your complete beginner foundation for Django development. From here, you can build HTML templates, add CSS styling, create REST APIs with Django REST framework, build authentication systems, integrate payments, and explore advanced back-end features. If you found this tutorial helpful, hit like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Thank you for watching. Keep coding, and see you in the next tutorial.